Man, this is a good one. Whew. You know, I'm reading these Proverbs, and I understand that Proverbs are not necessarily promises, that God is not bound to these things, but these are truisms, things that typically happen. But man, I hope this one really comes true. Man, really. Hello, everybody. Mr. Brown here with day 29 of our series, Get Wisdom. 29, 30. 3 more days. This one and then 2 more. Yeah, I can count. But anyway, this is day 29 of our series, Get Wisdom. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for going on this journey with us as we dig through the book of Proverbs, finding those treasures that we can apply to our lives so we can get wisdom. Now, like I said, this verse is really good, and I really hope that this comes true in my life. I understand that Proverbs are not necessarily promises that God will do exactly what they say, but they're truisms, things that are true, pithy statements that from experience the writers have learned, and from other things we can see too that these may be true. This one, I really hope comes true. This is what it says. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 17. Discipline your son, and he will give you rest. He will give delight to your heart. Oh, yeah. I hope this is true for my son and my daughter, for that matter. And I just think it's important that as we parent, and like I said before, we're doing some parenting things with our organization, Hello, Mr. Brown, for public schools. We're getting trained in love and logic, which I'm looking forward to because it's going to help me be a better parent, but also give some advice to parents that I've learned from not only being a parent myself, but also working with kids for over 30 years and seeing them in a different light outside the home and inside the home for that matter. But this verse I really like, and I hope that we apply it the right way. Again, discipline your son, and he will give you rest. He will give delight to your heart. Now, when most people think of discipline, they think of only one aspect of discipline, the aspect of correction, the aspect of, I'm going to get you do this wrong. But I think discipline has at least 2 sides to it, could have more sides to it. You can explain different ways. But I believe there's the instruction side and the correction side. That discipline is not just about getting them wrong. I've heard parents and before, you know better than that. And if you hear the same parents say that to the kid over and over again, apparently they didn't know better than that because they keep doing it, or they're just outright rebelling. But sometimes as parents, we expect our kids to know things that we know, but we never took time to tell them. We never explicitly told them how they should act or train them in that. And so because we didn't train them, we didn't give them instruction, therefore they don't know, but we're ready to correct them when they do something wrong. And I think sometimes we have to be patient when kids learn things and do things that we've never given them instruction on. This is a great time for instruction. It's called a teachable moment, right? And I believe the earlier you put the work in to discipline, that is instruct and correct your children, this proverb will come true for the most part. I believe that there's a sowing and reaping thing, and you reap what you sow. You sow in these things of instruction and discipline early. Hopefully you will get the fruit of that. But regardless, we should do that because we are commanded to train up our kids. We're commanded to raise our kids. Kids are commanded to respect us. We're commanded not to I can't say the word, provoke our kids to wrath. There's another word, but provoke our kids to wrath. So we as parents are guided, we've been given this treasure to raise these kids. So it's important that we teach them, we instruct them, but also that has a correction point to it as well. And so listen, I am trying my best. I am trying different techniques. I'm trying different things to raise both of our kids. Our son Evan is currently turning 3, and he can be a handful. I mean, I love him. He's so sweet, but he goes from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds sometimes. He just gets upset and just snaps. I'm like, hey, calm down, hold on. Even this morning, I wouldn't give him his blanket till he asked for it in a normal voice. I want my blankie. Well, talk to me in a normal voice. We appreciate when you use your normal voice and not yelling at us. And tell you what, it is hard work. It is hard work. People look at us sometime in public with our kids and they say, your kids are so well behaved. And I'll say, thank you, but it's hard work. We've been putting in the work, instructing and correcting. And sometimes I don't want to do it. Let's just be real. I don't want to do it because it takes, like when you correct your kids and put them in timeout, guess who's else in timeout? You are. I want to play with my kid. I don't want to discipline you in this way, but I understand I have to put the work in now to reap the benefits later. And I think that's what this verse is saying. Discipline your son and he will give you rest. And sometime in the moment, I'm not seeing it, but I am starting to see some benefits of it because when I ask, for an example, I talked about this one before. This one is big in our house. That's why I keep saying it. When they ask for something and they may get disappointed that we don't get this blow up. And we've been working on that. And guess what? We've been seeing some results of that. It's been awesome to say, when I say, hey, they want some, can we have that, Dad? And I'll say, no. Okay. Like, yes, it's worth it, right? Because there's times when, but Dad, but I start pouting, and then we work with that. We work through that, and we don't yell, we talk about it. But if you keep doing it, you're going to sit in time out. There's consequences when you don't respond the right way. And so it is hard sometimes, because that means we have to put a lot of work in right now. But you know what? I'm starting to see some benefits of it, and it's worth it. In that area and other areas, and how they treat and respond to each other, it's a lot of work. But we must be dedicated and be committed to discipline our kids. Number one, because we've been commanded to by God that we are giving these kids these treasures. We're supposed to guide them and lead them. But number two, it's beneficial for them to learn. Even outside of our physical pain or our pain of being a parent, but it's good for them to learn what's right and wrong and how to live life, how to respond. And number three, it's good for us. There's some good things coming, according to this proverb, if we apply, and if it happens good for us, that discipline your son and he will give you rest. He will give delight to your heart. And honestly, my kids are delight of my heart. We're still putting in the work. We haven't arrived, but they are delight of my heart. It's a struggle. I mean, there's been times that, let me give you another example. And I got to pay my kids every time I use an example in a story, so they're going to get pretty rich. But the other day, Evan woke up in the middle of the night, and he was crying. He had to go pee. And again, like I said, sometimes he doesn't go from, I got to go pee, help, I got to go pee. I'm like, okay, hold on, buddy, here I come, right? And he's yelling, like, calm down, right? So I take him to the bathroom. First, when I get there, he goes, I wasn't calling you. I want mommy. And my response, my fleshly response is, I don't want to get up either, boy. I want to be in the bed, but mama didn't get up. But patiently, well, Evan, you don't have a choice. When you need help, you get help from whoever can help you. Or you want to go potty. Okay, get up, go potty. He use the bathroom, come back. I pick him up to take him back in his room. He gives me a tight hug. I love you. A second ago, you didn't want me helping you, and now you love me. I'll take it. But I think no matter what age your kids are, it's going to be work. Either that work that you're continuing, or some of us need to start some work. Our kids may be like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even teenagers, and we haven't put in some of that work of discipline, that side of instruction, along with the side of correction. And make sure we do both sides of the coin. You got to figure out some stuff yourself as parents. What are going to be some instruction that you want to have for your kid, and what are going to be some correction steps? And I think those kids need to know that. I did a whole series called Consequences That Work. And in that series, we talked about consequences that work need to be explained, they need to be customized, and they need to be, it's another word, I forgot the third one. But there's 3 videos in the series. You should go check it out. But they need to be explained up front. They need to be explained what these consequences are before they get in a situation. I got to give you instruction. Here's the instruction. If this doesn't happen, this is going to happen. And why? Because if you don't do this, this is going to happen. You can't get mad at me, because you know both. You know the instruction, you know the correction. So when the correction comes, don't get mad at me. And here's the thing, parents. When you set that up, when you set this instruction and correction thing up, and they don't do it, and there's got to be correction, you don't have to get mad about it. You don't have to lose any sleep over it. They made a choice. They get the natural consequences. You go drink your lemonade and have an iced tea and have a great day. Instead, sometimes parents, we get so engaged with it because our kids made a bad choice. They got to receive consequences. We all mad about it. Listen, if you give your kids clear instructions, they disobey that rule, that instruction, they have a problem. You don't have a problem. They have a problem. And your job as a parent is to help them with that problem, and that is helping them with that consequence and letting them deal with it and learn from it. You do it lovingly. Don't be sarcastic about it, because when we're sarcastic, sometimes we like jabbing at them, like, there you go. How you like that? How you like that? You're jabbing at the kids. Don't do that. You settle down, because you got to keep the big picture in mind. And the big picture is kind of part of this verse. Just part of this verse is the big picture. Again, discipline your son, and he will give you rest. Don't you want some rest? Discipline him, instruction and correction. He will give delight to your heart. And we got to keep the big picture in mind, parents. I'm prayerfully keeping the big picture in mind, because sometimes those little blow-ups get on my last nerve. Like, why are you upset? Why are you yelling? Why are you kicking? Why are you crying? This is unnecessary. but I gotta give him that instruction and that correction because I want to discipline him so he can grow to be the man of God. I always pray for my son that he'd be better than the block, that he'd be better than me as a man, that he would not fall in some of the same pitfalls I fell as a young man. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional with that, but I want my son to follow the Lord early in his life and create that lifestyle of following God. But that discipline is that the combination of that instruction and that correction. I love this verse, and I pray that it does come true in my life for my son and my daughter, because I want to have some rest, and I want my kids, and they are the delight of my heart. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry I went over. No, I'm not. Thanks for joining us for series Get Wisdom, and I hope you're getting a lot out of it, and hope you're growing, and hope you're getting into the Word of God. Again, the purpose of this is not just for me to teach you things, but for you to get your face in this book. Dig through the treasure of the book of Proverbs and get wisdom. Thanks for joining us.